Hi everyone, welcome back to the podcast. If you're a veteran listener, welcome back. If you're new, thank you for listening, and make sure you go back to some previous episodes. They're not in order per se; they're
They're independent
independent
of each other.
Yeah, so you can listen to any of them. We have Hans with us today because it is his podcast, and so he better be here.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
it's a long drive, man.
a long drive. Today we're going to talk about attacking, training the dog to attack the weapon hand, or as you said,
Offending arm.
offending arm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Because it could be any weapon. It could
Yeah.
be stick or knife
Yeah.
or rock or
The
gun
offending.
or whatever.
Yeah. Hans has a Facebook group. What's the name of your Facebook group?
Alpine Canine
Yeah.
is one.
Yeah.
The other one is Hans Alpine.
Yeah, Hans Alpine.
And the other one is Alpine Canine Hans. That's a commercial where people can buy stuff.
Yeah, but the one where people come in, it's a public group where we have
Hans Alpine.
Hans Alpine is the one.
Or Alpine Canine is private, but it's
Yeah.
same thing. It
Okay.
mainly talks about the training and my dogs,
That's
or
it.
Alpine Canine or Genopo dogs,
Yeah, and
and that's what it's dedicated to.
Yeah.
The Hans Alpine is you can talk about anything,
Yeah.
including politics,
Okay.
whatever.
so Alpine Canine is the one where we discuss, specifically dog training,
Yeah, and the Alpine Canine Hans, right? That's a commercial one.
the commercial for
Yeah,
dogs. Yeah,
That's where the sales of the videos are gonna be based and stuff like that.
yeah. But there's been discussions, not just now, but basically about this topic, and Hans thought to discuss this. I mean, just it's not rocket science, but
Discuss the arm.
yeah, the arm. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's to me. This is like really amazing, bewildering, flabbergasting topic that people don't get it. And it's just like, and basically what I'm teaching and training dogs and teaching students is to teach the dog to attack the arm which has a weapon in, right? Or, and they said, and people argue with me like, what, and they have all these reasons. And it's always, all those reasons are like saying, well, I don't have to learn how to swim because I have a life preserver, right? You understand? So in other words, they will say, well, I will not send my dog on a person who has a weapon in this arm,
Yeah.
And, of course, I can come up with many examples where you would be doing it, right?
Yeah.
And you gotta train for the most unlikely but possible eventuality. Don't train for average, most likely scenario. You gotta train for the most unlikely but possible scenario. So if the most unlikely scenario is on scale from 100, you should train for 101. Train always the highest than anything you can possibly encounter.
Yeah.
Always train for that.
Yeah.
And then when you fighting or with your dog, side by side, you use what you train and vice versa, right? You train what you will fight like and fight like you were training, right? Yeah. So if I have so I don't want to even get into it here that much. If it's necessary, people say, well, it's not necessary. Why should I do it? Well, okay, so you can teach the dog to, like in sport, to bite the arm with a sleeve and stick in the other hand. Or you can do real protection and teach the dog to bite the arm with a stick. There is no extra training. It's just you teach the dog to do this or that, right?
Yeah.
So for sport, you need the dog to attack the arm with the sleeve because for the safety of the helper.
Yeah.
Okay. And in real protection training, we don't call them helper, we call them decoy. There's difference. Because helper is helping to the dog and decoy is acting like a bad guy, right?
Yeah.
So he's not helping the dog, he's making it harder for the dog.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the difficulty of the training to attack arm with the weapon or without the weapon is the same. There's no, you just dog will learn really quick that, okay, he has a stick, so well, I gotta attack that arm with a stick rather than the other arm. And I'll tell people, like imagine or knife, I tell people, imagine somebody's coming at you with a knife, right, or stick,
Yeah.
and you grab him by the arm which doesn't have the knife in it.
You would never do that.
How stupid is that? Yet, people argue with me that's the best way to train the dog. So, I'm flabbergasted. I still am, and you wouldn't believe these, or you would, these drag out fights on the Facebook or whatever. Like people, they just don't want to grasp it. What I'm saying makes sense, And even if I tell them, okay, so if somebody has a knife in right hand, I will grab him by the left hand. Grab his left arm, right? And they just glaze over it, and I would, and then they come up with some other. Anyway, what I'm advocating is, of course, to always do teach the dog to attack the arm with the weapon, right? And that doesn't mean the dog has to be stupid. Right? And let's say if I have an arm over here and hiding it behind me, the dog should go around and all that. The dog should and will bite the first thing which sticks out and moves. And usually that's the arm with the weapon. Now, and people say, well, but he can hide a weapon behind his back. Well, then you have a dead dog, okay? Right? Okay, so he bit the wrong arm and he got killed. So you agree with me, right? I'm not saying every fight is winnable, but you gotta give the dog the best possible chance to win, which in this case is to attack the offending arm. And we teach the dog, and we should do it tomorrow. Do you have a plastic tent stake?
I might. A lot of them are metal.
You don't have a
but-
tent?
I have a tent, but they're metal. Those are metal stakes.
Yeah. Like in Home Depot, you sell these orange stakes.
Yeah. Mine
I
are
have
metal.
one somewhere at home.
Yeah.
Or we can just use piece of wood, a wooden spoon, if I remember, because I'm forgetful. So to get a wooden spoon,
Okay.
and just use that. So what we do, we the dog will bite, the first thing, and which will be the arm which is not with weapon, not the offending arm, and the bad guy then swipes from the counter in the kitchen a knife or something, or picks up a rock or stick, and start coming at the dog. And I teach the dog to re-grab from the non-offending arm to the offending arm with the weapon. And how do I do that? Well, very simply, I just use plastic, something which cannot hurt the dog, plastic knife or plastic steak.
Yeah.
We buy in Home Depot these orange steaks.
Yeah.
Or wooden spoon, and as the dog is biting the non-offending arm, I'm going to take that wooden spoon and start jabbing him in the ribs, and eventually the dog says, "What the hell is that?" And we'll re-grip on the other arm, and I keep doing it, and after a while, when the dog sees something, I'm coming with the other. I keep changing the objects, and so as soon as the dog starts seeing I'm coming at him with the hand with the object, whatever, stick, rock, wooden spoon, whatever, he will quickly re-grip on that arm. I make a specific effort to teach him to do that, right? Now, is it foolproof? Is the dog, no. As Mike Tyson says, all the planning goes through the hell after you get the first hit, right? But I'm having plan, and I train the dog to the best, to give him best probability to win. I'm not gonna intentionally do something which will give him the worst probability to win, meaning attacking the arm with no weapon and people say, well, I want the dog to hold on. Hold on and keep getting stabbed 16 times, and then fell off like a grape, dead.
Yeah.
Is that what you want? And you can probably sense in my tone of voice that I'm frustrated with this.
Yeah.
But that's what we do. And even if you buy this video, the Parky method, which the protection that I train, we come at the dog with a stick always and teach the dog to bite that arm with a stick. And the dog learns to target the arm with which holds something, right? And I don't care for people listening to me that people who knows how to fight, well, he can have a stick in one arm and knife in the other. All right, dog will be gonna die, okay. I cannot win everything, but I gotta give the dog the damn best chance to win.
Yeah.
Right? And that's what I'm doing, not the worst chance.
Yeah.
So as you see in the videos, there's a swing and bite, right? Swing and bite. And I want the dog to focus on the arm with the weapon.
Yeah.
You
Makes
know?
sense.
That's it.
Yeah,
you
makes
know?
sense. Yeah. It's not. That's why I said it's not rocket science. But I don't know why it's such a hard thing to understand. Or yeah, as you said, you want people to think why that is. Why, not just
Well,
do it
and
because
again,
somebody-
it goes to the drives, right? So we have the dog coming at the bad guy, and a lot of them will bite the leg, like Holchichka, for example,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
goes and bite the leg, but then that's good because it slows the bad guy down, right? But then almost instantly she comes off that bite and attacks the arm with the weapon.
Fast,
So she
yeah.
regrips, right?
Yeah.
And she does it almost instinctually,
Yeah.
right? Because and when she does that, we praise her, let her win, and all that, and she learns. Okay, this was good, just like that wolf pup with caught a mice, right?
Yeah. If you
Yeah,
guys
it was
listen to
good.
another podcast episode,
Yeah.
Hans talked about that.
Yeah, right.
But-
So you reward. That's what I mean by teaching the dog to fight and not to bite. Dogs know how to bite for millions of years. I mean, when before they were even dogs, they were some kind of a reptile,
Yeah.
or fish, or what the heck was
Yeah.
paleontologically, if I can say
It's
it.
a big word.
Yeah, paleontologically.
Yeah.
Even before the dog,
Yeah.
they knew how to bite.
That you eat.
And so now people come, some shouldn't or whatever. No, not necessarily shouldn't, but some protection trainer comes and he says, we got to teach the dog to bite. No, there ain't no bite. You need to just develop the bite. How do you develop the bite? You either teach them to bite specific area like the sleeve in shouldn't type sport, or you teach them to fight. What does fighting mean? What does that mean, teach them to fight? Teach them to fight so that when the bad guy is fighting the dog gotta do the right thing in order to win. Where in sport, we teach the dog to hang on like a tick, no matter what. And I'm against that. For protection, though, not for sport. But for protection dog, I want the dog to fight. I want him to, I'm getting stabbed in the rib by wooden spoon, so I got to better attack that hand which hold that thing,
Yeah.
right? And I train dogs, and I specifically give them the arm which has no weapon, and then from behind I came with the other, and they immediately will regrip. And they learn really fast, what to do. And then when they did that, I let them win. I make the decoy go to the ground and scream like a girl, and the handler praised the dog. I say, good boy, yeah, good boy. And dog say, yeah, this is great, right?
Yeah.
And that's it, and I don't know why it's such a controversy, man. And people say, well, the dog who is not holding firm is weak. I said, you're talking sport again, right?
Yeah.
Don't talk sport to me. I've done sport, but I'm not teaching sport. There are people who know sport much better than I do. That's not my cup of tea. I'm talking about police dogs, personal protection dogs, military dogs, and so on and so on.
Yeah.
I don't want my dog to hold on when he's getting injured on that spot. I don't want that. I want him. No, it's not as pretty as when he holds on, but it's not pretty when he gets stabbed either.
It's not practical.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and again, the videos, they kind of teach that.
Yeah.
Right there,
4 levels. There's
and
in this
it's
particular-
a involved training. So yeah, you can kind of get a gist of it here, but that's not all, right? It's just there's degrees and how to advance the dog and all that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like an onion. There's layers.
Yep.
Yeah, there's layers. Everything seems, and everything. What did you say, Hans? Who said that? Everything.
Musashi.
Musashi.
Miyamoto Musashi, the best samurai ever.
Ever.
How could you forget the name? Man?
I know Miyamoto Musashi.
Yeah.
Said everything.
At first, everything seems difficult.
At first, everything seems difficult,
Yeah.
and it's true.
Changed my life.
Yeah.
When I was gonna buy me a smartphone, they tried to sell me a Apple.
Yeah.
And I said, why are you trying to sell me Apple? And they said, because it's easier to work it. So I said,
It is
okay.
easier.
So I said, okay. And she says, for you old folks, to me, man. And and I said, okay, I'll take the iPhone. I mean, the Android.
They got him. They got him.
Yeah.
But it is.
But it was difficult, and I was just like throwing hands in the air. I said, what the hell?
Yeah.
Now it's just, at first it was difficult.
I compare dog training and for that anything. Gardening is just a good one because gardening, you're on your knees, your back is hurting, your hands are dirty. You got to do all this work for that fruit or vegetable or whatever that is. But you have to do all that work, and the point is that you have to enjoy the process.
Yeah,
If
you
don't
gotta
enjoy the
take,
process.
the yoga says you gotta take good care of the tree,
Yeah.
and the fruit will come. Don't worry about the fruit.
Yeah, so the process, if you don't enjoy the process in dog training, it's not always fun. I mean, it's hard work, but you have to enjoy the process. Otherwise, you're in it for the wrong reason.
Yeah, otherwise you're not gonna last, man.
Yeah,
You're
in the wrong reason. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. So basically, to conclude this, it's you have 2 things there. 2, right? One of them is teach the dog to attack the arm with the weapon, and the other one is to teach the dog to re-grip from the non-offending arm to the offending arm if necessary.
Okay.
So that's it.
Yeah. As far as the this whole thing about the bite, you're just they know.
You know what? If people say, well, you got to teach the dog to have a deep bite, full bite.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, why? Why? First of all, number one, the shallow bite will mess you up much more than deep bites, right? That's number one. And number two, you don't have to teach the deep bite, teaching the dog to bite in a pillow or stuff. The dog will develop a deep bite by himself without you teaching him how to do it by letting him win when he does the good stuff. So when the dog grabs you really hard and all that, I'll let him win. Mm-hmm. If he is just barely touching me with his teeth, I won't let him win.
Yeah.
So and really quickly the dog learns that in order for him to win, he needs to have a big bite. Look at Holchichka again, right?
Yeah.
She has a super hard, big bite. Yeah. And we never taught her to bite.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So teaching bite is a waste of time. Teach them to fight.
Yeah.
Instead.
Yeah. Again, we're talking personal protection for personal and police, military. We're not talking sport. I think hopefully when you're listening, don't mix the two together.
Yeah, all this. Yeah, well, maybe we should make it more obvious. But there is just. I'm not talking about sport. I'm not the expert on the sport. There are better people at the sport than I am. Much better. I did sport to learn a lot of stuff, but I would never put myself out there like some kind of expert on sport training.
But the big but here, the problem is they're saying they're teaching dog sport first, and then selling the dog off as the dog will take care of defense work too, right? Or I mean, that's the problem that you see here. They're literally selling these dogs off as personal protection dogs.
Well, they look good when they do it in sport.
Yeah, but it's a dangerous thing too.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's not like, I don't care if it's for a home or.
But it sells good.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you have a dog who flies through the air and hit
Yeah.
like a freight train, that looks good. Except if there's no sleeve, the dog is not going to do it.
Yeah.
Or bodysuit.
Yeah.
Like some dogs won't do it.
Yeah. That's
The
where I see.
sport training is not conducive to that.
Yeah. It's beautiful on the field. It's a performance, right? It's a beautiful performance. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's like acting.
Yeah. It's like, yeah.
Yeah,
It's,
it's definitely like acting.
yeah.
It's not the real stuff.
Yeah.
It's not a combat. It's a acting combat.
Yeah. So I don't know if anything you want to add to this.
No,
There's other
just
things. Okay.
just
Yeah.
teach the dog, number one, to. I show the videos and there I teach how the dog should prefer to bite, not to be stuck on stupid and
Yeah.
go only for the.
Can you explain stuck on stupid so people don't?
Stuck on stupid?
Stuck on, what is that?
It's just doing the wrong thing just because that's how you were taught that.
Yeah, yeah. So that's some people go, "Oh, you calling me stupid, Hans?" I go, no, that's not what Hans is saying. I mean, it might be a little truth in it, but
I was trying to figure out how to,
Yeah.
to wedge
Yeah.
it in there, but you did good.
yeah. There's truth in it, but more of
Well, don't stuck on stupid. I can't believe I gotta explain that. Stuck on stupid is you're stuck on doing something which is not productive. It's stupid, so you're stuck on it.
Yeah.
You know what? When I heard it first time, I had to get it explained to. I said, "What do you mean by that?"
yeah.
So the Czech guy got to teach you how to speak English, I guess. Czech and Hungarian guy.
That's right. That's right. If you enjoyed this content so far, please subscribe to our channel. Also, Hans has a podcast channel called Dog Training for Life. Check that out so you can listen to the audio version. They're Europeans coming at you.
Oh God!
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry guys. I'm a nice guy actually.
No, yes. Hans practices tough love, and when I showed up to the first day of training, my wife came too, and I just wanted to meet Hans. We just I called him and it says, come Saturday. Like, okay, we go. The next thing I know, I'm thrown into the training. I just thought we were just going to meet Hans, and he's yelling at me about how to hold the leash because I had no clue how to hold it properly. And I'm like, well, why don't you show me? And he's like, how am I going to show you? I'm like, why? He's like, because if I show you, you're going to forget in 5 minutes. This way, you're going to remember for the rest of your life.
And was it true?
It's true. 100% true. So these things
when I
Hans-
teach something, it's just like my style.
Yeah.
I learned this type of teaching from my sensei when I was doing judo. They explain, but basically they put stress on you until you get it right, and then the stress goes away. That's how I train dogs.
Yeah.
I put stress on the dog with a stick and whatever,
Yeah.
and when the dog finally does the right thing, I let him win.
Yeah. And it works. I see it,
It
every
works, man.
Saturday.
I can tell you, you gotta do this. You bite this pillow, bite that pillow,
Yeah.
Okay, so I bite the pillow, and then suddenly, guy with a stick come at you, and it's like that video from White House, the the Secret Service dogs. A dog, there's this guy like in shorts. I think he's even barefoot, and he kicks. They send the dog at him.
Yeah, Google it. It's on.
Yeah. And the guy kicks the dog, and dog makes U-turn. It's gone.
This
man.
is Secret Service dog.
Secret Service dogs, man. I don't want to say who trained it because
Yeah.
very famous dog trainer.
But the possibility is extremely high. It's because
Yeah,
what
so that's
Hans
supposed to be
is-
the best trained dog for police.
Yeah.
I mean, for protection of president of the United States. And he gets his little mild glancing kick, and I mean, that was so fast. I never seen dog doing a U-turn those fast, man.
yeah.
You know, and why? Because the dog didn't see
training
equipment, and he never knew how to deal with defense drive.
Defense, yeah.
Yeah, that's one of those things we can do. Maybe put a video, and then I'm gonna say what's good or bad
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah, we'll do it.
And of course, that's gonna be a lot of pissed off people that are talking about their training.
What's new in Hans's world?